It's bobbing.
It is? I know a Bob C. I talked to last night.
And I know a bobbin I talked to last night.
We have traded
It
that.
would be better if you didn't have a green
At 11. I've had like a 16, 17, 18 people checking in a couple times.
screen.
Oh, that's a site.
That's when
And we are now live
Everything
on
up in
YouTube.
Ohio. Rod's not hearing me.
I hear you now.
Oh, I said, how's everything up in Ohio?
Ohio is doing just dandy. We were up to 62 today.
It's not like Texas.
Not like Texas, no.
Oh, great. It's 67 here. We got to get out the woolly underwear.
Yeah, I know that.
I had, in the last 2 days, I got almost an inch of rain. It
That's
poured
quite a
yesterday and
lot.
then this morning. Yeah.
We had quite a bit of snow about a week ago, but a lot on the ground.
Our deal here in Nashville, when it snows up in Ohio, we close all our schools. That's the way that deal works.
Yep.
I'm from
Ours
Buffalo, New
just
York.
go
I know
on.
snow. I grew up in snow.
Hi, Ron.
How's Jim doing?
Thing here.
I saw your email, asked me if I was going to be on here.
I received your answer right now.
Thank you. I also answered you on the email.
Okay, thank you.
Well, it looks like Huntsville is going to be our big one of this year, isn't it?
I hope so.
Yeah, they're definitely go. Von Braun Center, everything's squared away down there, so we're looking forward to it. They're going to change it around a little bit. I don't know how many of you have actually been to Huntsville, but all that empty space behind where WB0W's van was and so on, all that empty space is going to be for vendors now. So they're really going to spread out.
You talking on the inside?
Yes, sir. Everything's on the inside.
Yeah, because I was there the year before last.
Yes,
It's a great show.
it is. And of course, they're expanding. I don't know how many more. Well, I imagine a lot of people will come because we all certainly need a good ham fest.
We need to hobnob with our buddies.
That's true.
It's long overdue.
My eye, but I'm not gonna buy it now. I'll wait. As everybody, I'm amateur radio poor. There's Paul. My buddy Paul.
Anyone going to attend the QSO virtual hamvention a week from this weekend?
I don't know.
Not
Friend
at
of mine in Raleigh, North Carolina, they had a North Carolina QSO party this past weekend. I said, text me or call me or tell me where you are, 20 meters. He texted me midday, says, the band just sucks.
Oh, man, it's too bad.
He wanted to work 80 meters in the day. Give me a break. Let's see what it's like now. Twenty's dead. There's something like 40.
I'm trying to read the bottom of your shirt. I've got the first line of code, but I'm trying to figure what's right underneath it, Bob.
Oh, there. Okie dokie pokey.
I'm sorry I asked.
That's from one of our vendors. They sell those T-shirts. Gold medal
Oh
ideas.
yeah, they got a lot of good.
Oh, I know they do.
They do our shirts. Yeah, they're good people. Great hats.
They do make great hats. We had a bunch of them made. Nice folks too, and been around forever.
And they're good. They're quality hats. The thing doesn't fold down. You can't read a call sign. You know.
Yep.
Like
Well,
W.
if you want to pay a lot of money, they've got those expensive ones for $25 or so.
I don't know which ones I've got. I've got a dark blue with the tan bill and the tan lettering. Then I got the exact reverse, tan with the blue bill and blue lettering.
Yeah, they're really nice folks. Gold medal ideas. The amazing thing is all the stuff they get in their vehicle. That machine or whatever they call that machine that they use is incredibly heavy. Invariably, I'm always the guy that's left around to help him load it in the car.
I'm also impressed how Jill and them put all that stuff in their Tower Electronics vehicle.
Are you talking about Jill and Scott?
Yeah, they got so much
Well,
credit in that.
You gotta look at it. And Max Gain does the same thing. They've got those trays, everything. It's like if you're pre-flighting an airplane or something, don't get in the way, just let them do their deal.
They do.
Everything fits.
They do a great job.
They
They're
do.
good people.
They really
They were
do.
here, I don't know, a few months back. We had a small tailgate south of town we haven't had in a while.
Uh-huh.
I bought some jumpers and some coax switches and stuff from them. So
Oh, from Tower?
I always drop a little chunk of change with them. They're good people. I need parts. And a friend of mine who moved from Buffalo to Raleigh sent me a box about 300 feet of RG8X, one coil.
Oh my goodness.
I'll be good for a while. He's a ham. See here, Ed.
He'll probably mute everybody.
Hey, Rick.
He'll probably mute
Rick,
everybody except the day
Rick.
Muslim thing, whatever.
You hear me, Rick? Rick, you hear me? Unmute yourself. Or don't.
Talking to me, Rick?
Yeah, Rick. Yeah, how many Ricks we got? Yeah, you got my response on the email that you sent me back when I sent it to membership, not OERs, all members.
I'm talking about the guy that was requesting some help.
Yeah, the hotspot. Yeah, I just typed members and it came up automatically sent. Didn't even think about it until you emailed me back. Oh man, I know it went out because I got a copy of it.
Yeah, I saw your copy to me, and then also saw the
Yeah.
Google group
Because I
email.
remember he said I need help with my hot. I knew he meant hotspot.
Better you than me. I just keyed on that one word that I won't say in here.
I haven't. I've used my Zoom spot in ages for DMR. You know, got it the radio, got everything in the truck. But
See, we still got people trying to connect, so I'm going to wait another minute or two before we start.
hey, Frank's iPhone is here.
Oh, Frank is here too.
You like the White Castle stuff on Facebook, don't you?
Yeah, I wished I lived within the boundary. I can't order it. I'm too out of the boundary.
What do you call? I tagged you on one. Yeah.
Yeah. I live too far. I can't order it.
How close were they to actually the crystals? Are they about the same or different or what?
A lot of people think they're the same. I can tell the difference. You don't know. I like the White Castles better.
I like Steak and Shake. If they stop closing them, they close two right around me.
Bob, I think you can pretty much think of them in about the same category, though.
Yeah, Anna, I was behind the vehicle this morning. Regular license plate. The first three letters were ANA.
Probably
Went
mine.
to take a picture of it and he turned to a parking lot. What about you? Oh. Yeah.
Here comes Hal.
Hell processor? iPad 2.
Did anybody see the launch and the landing? Well, aside from super success, the thing that really amazed me, having been in the television business for a lot of years, was the camera work. It was just phenomenal. I mean, it was more than what a Steadicam can do. I mean, they were locked on. It didn't even look like it was handheld. It looks like it was some electronic means that just zeroed in on it like a heat sinker missile. I used to work on some of that stuff at Lockheed. And I forget the terminology, it's been too many years, but I mean, I thought the camera work was just fantastic, the way you could see everything. It didn't even look real. It was so good.
All right, everybody. I got a few minutes after 7. Looks like connection rate starts slowing down a little bit. We got a bunch of people watching on YouTube, so we're going to go ahead and get started. Let me share a screen here real quick. All right. We're going to say the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. Want to remind everybody real quick, nominations. If you are interested in still running for a board position, nominations are still open and will remain open through the meeting until just prior to the end of the meeting. At the end of the meeting, we'll go ahead and close the nominations for board. That's for president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, and the 6 director positions that the club has. We'll close those toward the end of the meeting, and Bob Pollock will let us know what we have or who's running for what positions. And then we'll talk briefly at that point about the actual elections that will occur for next month. So if you are still interested in running for one of those positions, you can send your nomination to nominations@oarc.org. That goes to Bob, and Bob will get your name on the list, on the slate. So with that, I want to go real quick around to the board members and allow the board members that are currently online with us tonight to introduce themselves just real quick. So that way, if we have any new members or anybody watching on YouTube that doesn't know who we all are, we'll know who we are afterwards. So I just want to remind everybody, my name is John Knott. My call sign is N4JTK. I'm the club president. And I'm also one of the Hamcation committee members, and I help Bob coming with commercial, so I'm one of his co-chairmen for commercial. Michael, go with you, and then we'll just go around to the different positions from that point.
Michael Cawley, W4MCA, vice president, and also the general chairman of Orlando Hamcation.
All right, Bobbin.
My name is Bob Nocero, call sign W4KBW. I am the club secretary. I've been involved in the club since the mid-90s, and I'm one of the chairmen and workers and worker bees, whatever, at Hamcation. Very involved with the club and enjoy the club, enjoy the members, and enjoy being a ham.
All right, Anna and then Dean.
Hi, my name is Anna Groh. I am the treasurer. My call sign's KM4JVE. Also the chairwoman for hospitality and finance for Hamcation. And love being with the club.
And I'm Dean Groh. Amateur call is KD4TWJ. I'm one of the directors for OARC on the board. I'm also the IT chairman for Orlando Hamcation.
All right. Thanks, Dean. And James, you on here tonight?
Well, it's on the screen, but James N0XIA. I'm one of the board of directors for the OARC, and I am one of the forum co-chair people, chairperson. No, wait a minute, we got rid of that. So I'm the forum's chairperson. There we go. No more co's, right? God, I've been working with the club, I don't know how long, but still doing it, and we'll keep doing it if everybody is okay with that.
Thanks, James. Tony, I think Tony disconnected. Might have to unmute your microphone, Tony.
Okay, there we go.
There you go.
Hey, my name is Tony Darnell. Call sign is KK4VRP. I am one of the directors for the board of OARC. Also co-chairman for security at Hamcation, and been with the club for a few years now. Really enjoying it. Enjoy being a ham, and love all the people we get to work with. And it's just really a good club to be in, and just basically enjoying it a lot. So hopefully we get to continue. Thanks.
All right, Tony, thanks. Frank G.
Frank Gergitz, call sign KC9GNQ. I've been with the club for about 5 years. Been a director for about 2. Also on-site ticket chairman for Hamcation for the last 3 years, I think, 3 or 4. I'm also one half of the Silent Key committee for the OARC club. And it's a great club to be a part of. A lot of fun. And let's continue doing it.
All right, appreciate it. And then Bob C.
Name is Bob Cumming, W2BZY, board member, past president of OARC, commercial co-chair with John for Hamcation, and also one of the VE leads for testing at OARC.
Thanks, Bob. And Frank Tagalani, I didn't see Frank connect yet. Frank T, are you on? All right, Frank doesn't seem to be on tonight. He might not have connected yet. He might pop in before the meeting's over. And if so, we'll let him introduce himself also. We have a couple of guests on here this evening. I know I'm going to go, not try to point anybody out, but Ron Kramer, you want to introduce yourself? Hello, Ron.
There we go. I
There
finally,
you go.
I had to hit it a few times. Wasn't responding. Ron Kramer, I'm president of Dayton Amateur Radio Association, and I love coming down there in the middle of winter for Hamcation, which didn't happen this year, but next year, big year.
Most definitely. Appreciate you being on here this evening with us. Then also we have Bob and Laura Petrie from TN07 Engineering. They're out of Eagleville, Tennessee, which is near or outside of Nashville, Tennessee, I should say. And TN07 manufactures lots of great items, and they're going to be here tonight to talk to us about those. So let me get ready for their presentation because I'm going to show it for them. Go to speaker view. Let me drop this one screen here. And Bob Petrie, we're almost ready for you here.
Standing by.
All right, everybody should be able to see the presentation now.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Bob, the floor is yours. And then afterwards, we'll continue on with our meeting, but you're more than welcome to stay after you're done and stay with us.
Thank you. You go to the next slide, please.
Mm-hmm.
You want to, there you go. A little bit about me. License is WN3AKJ, tested in Baltimore, became W3AKJ, operated portable. Mars call sign way back in the day was A3AKJ, and then I did DL4YJ for several years out of Germany. As some of you may recall, we had to send our license in for renewal back in the day. So I sent W3AKJ in for renewal and got W4AZM in return. I have a commercial license. The standard deal in Tennessee, I have the nickname of Antenna Bob. I don't know how many of you guys know Cactus W4YMB out of Scottsville, Alabama. But he's a great friend of everyone around here. And he decided to call me Antenna Bob because all the work he and I did on constructing a 5-bay Sturba curtain design and fabrication. We live in a rural area, so we have the opportunity to try all kinds of antennas and do all kinds of experimentation, and been doing it for a number of years, to say the least. Next slide, please. Jason Olam is also on site, KM4ACK. Jason does a lot of work with digital and also tests some of our antennas for us. In fact, the things that you're going to be looking at this evening have been tested extensively by several different hams and several different locales and several different modes. So we try to get a good cross section rather than just having an antenna test area. area. Next slide, please. Bottom line, TN07 offers several stealth antennas. The idea is they need to be easy to employ with a minimal amount of material equipment and to achieve an effective radiating antenna. I think probably the biggest thing in using a stealth antenna is to manage the user's expectations. It's very difficult to achieve a resonant dipole up 60 feet in the air and expect that kind of response from a stealthy antenna, although we can come pretty close in some situations. Next slide, please. Our latest edition, and I think the one that I'm most proud of, we deal with people all the time that live in the HOA situation. We have tried and have a number of successful antenna setups for HOAs, but I think this one that we're going to be talking about this evening is perhaps going to be the best of all. The reason we name it Go-To Antenna is because when all other antennas fail, this guy definitely will get out. It's a unique design, as I'll show you in just a minute. Packaging is interesting. We, I think, have come up with a way to make it virtually invisible in an HOA backyard. And next slide, please. Basically, what we do, we have two copper rods that are in the ground, driven in the ground, separated by 25 feet. The device you're looking at there is a matching device that has a 17-foot extendable stainless steel antenna that screws on the top of it. The ground, part of the grounding mechanism attaches directly to that copper rod, and the thumb screw that you see up on top attaches to a 25-foot horizontal piece of wire that's typically several feet above ground. It functions both as a counterpoise and as an NVIS antenna. Next slide, please. There you see the kit arrangement. One of the issues that you have when you provide antennas for folks is no matter how good it is in the lab or how good it is as far as our equipment testing and so on, if they get home and put crappy coax on it, they're not going to get the same result. So what we've done in this situation, Wireman makes up a very, very good piece of coax for us. It's 50 feet of coax, top of their line coax. And they make the connectors, that's part of the kit. Everything else is intended to be replicated in the field. On the upper left is the packaging for this thing. On the lower left is actually the closed case. This is the portable unit for the Go-To antenna. It's intended to be used for portable use as well as semi-permanent use. Next slide, please. This is the scan that we use. We use an Agilent Field Box. I don't know how many of you guys are familiar with that piece of equipment. Top of the line. That's as good as you get. The range of this piece of equipment is from 2 megahertz to 6 gigs. It absolutely does the best job at tracing. You can see the peak there is at 2.4. We have not altered or tricked or done anything to alter the curve or try to improve it. That is straight out of the box. And the place where that is peaked at 2.4 is about 6 megahertz. No, it's a little more than that. It's about 9 megahertz. So the thing that our people are running into, most of the modern day transceivers will tune 3 to 1, and that's about it. They should not have any difficulty with this equipment. We have not had. In fact, we don't use the antenna tuners when we use this particular piece of equipment. The other thing I need to say about our products, we encourage people to experiment, to try stuff. There are a number of things that if a customer wants to experiment with on this antenna, we can suggest to them. On one of our other antennas, Jason is going to talk about how he has experimented with one of our stealth antennas and has been very effective in doing so. So there you go. That's the trace, and ostensibly this is what we're looking for our customer to discover. They're going to be using the same product that we use to generate this, the same coax, And this is the trace that we expect them to find. Next page, please. This is where I've got to bow to Jason. Jason, if you please explain what we're looking at on the screen.
Yeah, sure thing. What we've got here is a Psk Recorder Map. And basically, the gentleman that did this was broadcasting out over FT8. My understanding is he was running roughly 30 watts. And each of the little time markers is stations that heard him all around the world. So if you're not familiar with Psk Recorder, you send out a signal. Anybody that hears you and is connected to the internet will report that they heard you and at what noise level they heard you.
Next slide, please.
And this is just a little bit closer zoom in of that. You've got the United States, North America on the left-hand side, and then Europe on the right-hand side.
Okay, next slide, please. All right, here's the deal. Here's the trick. Here's the catch 22. We also have a go-to plus. All right, the first go-to that we looked at, the copper rods are 32 inches long. There are two of them. The go-to plus are two copper rods, 48 inches long. This is intended for a reasonably permanent installation in the backyard of an HOA. As you can see, it's intended to disguise in plain sight. Customers that have already bought this thing have what we supply with the go-to plus is a couple, well, I don't have any here in my hand, a couple of plastic rings that mount on top of that copper rod that will be glued onto whether you have a birdhouse, whether you have a bird feeder, whether you have the lights or whatever. Suddenly, I defy any HOA to tell you that that's not a birdhouse, that it's not a light, or it's not a bird feeder. Now, to my knowledge, no one has tried this before. We have a very effective antenna that when you're not using it, puts the light on it, put a birdhouse on it or something, or just, it actually you can hook it up most of the way and leave that item on. But the idea is you've got an antenna that functions very well. And in addition to that, it adds some decor to your HOA backyard. Next slide, please. All right, here's another one of our stealth flagpoles on the beach. This particular one is a 31.5-foot antenna that either is available with a wire inside, the thing telescopes down to 46 inches long, is built where it can have a wire-in antenna. Jason likes to use his, and he can explain a little bit about how he uses his stealth flagpole. This is using our ground mount, or rather, our drive-on mount. There's a matching device in the bottom, or it can be driven directly. We have ways to put a radial kit on it. It's, of course, right there on the beach. It's very effective. And it is in this next, go to the next slide, please. This next slide, you can actually see that installation in backyards at somebody's house. And it worked very well. We're not beating the law of physics, guys. We're just using our brain. This is how it can be done. And it's relatively inexpensively too. Next slide, please. Jason, can you explain how you use that 31.5-foot? Well, I guess we need to go. All right, excuse me, I jumped ahead. Please go to the next slide. Okay, now Jason, could you explain how you use this? This antenna is, we call it a go anywhere antenna. We have some, as you can see, we have some eye bolts mounted on it that they are neutral. They're not hooked up to anything. The only thing hot on that device is the wing bolt at the top. Jason, could you explain how you use this antenna, please?
Yeah, sure thing. I've been using this antenna for approximately 4 years now. I run this as my primary antenna at home. I believe the antenna originally came with 67 feet of wire, and that allows you to use it, if I can remember correctly, and Bob may have to correct me if I'm wrong, 10 through 80 meters with no tuner, and you get an SWR of less than 2 to 1 across all of the bands. Now at home, I wanted to, I wanted a little bit more wire on that. So I actually went up to about 132 feet. And that's what Bob mentioned earlier, is he always encourages you to kind of experiment with his products. So at home, I'll use this with 132 feet of wire. And then in the field, I'll take the 67 feet of wire. And the way I've got mine rigged up at home, I can quickly just grab the matching device and leave the wire in place. So I'll take the matching device and then what I use for my portable wire into the field. In the at home, I run it in a pure flat top configuration because I'm more interested in NVIS communications on 40 and 80 meters. In the field, I run it a bit differently. I use the 31 foot fiberglass mast that he showed just a second ago, and I'll hook up that 67 feet. So I'll run 31 feet straight up the pole, and then take the remainder of the wire and go out in a horizontal configuration. So you wind up with an inverted L. Playing with this thing one day, I actually ran it just with 31 feet of wire and ran it in a complete vertical configuration just to change the radiation pattern of the antenna. So this is one of those that you can definitely take and play with in several different ways, different configurations. I've also ran it in an inverted V when I was in the field, and different patterns, but each of them performs very well.
What we use on this particular one, this is one of the versions where we use a stainless steel wire. The wire has a nylon covering, and you notice that there's a clear insulator that goes with it. When this thing is suspended in the air, it's invisible. We recently sold one of these to a customer that I asked him how he was going to set it up. And he said, well, he's just plain going to put it out, string it across the backyard, and know that nobody's going to be able to see it. So what we did is made sure that I had that lucite insulator. He's running 100 watts. There could possibly be some, well, anyhow, it's a clear lucite insulator on there, and it's invisible. You can't see it in the air. If there's a dark colored insulator, all you can see is this thing bobbing around up in the air. Next slide, please. This is a variation on the theme. Same basic impedance matching device, except some of you probably recognize those old TV lead-in screw-in deals that we used to use back in the day when we didn't have cable. Go to the next page, please. This house has those installed. I could not believe it. We drove up to it. This is in a very exclusive area in Nashville. And that little blue car sticking out of the back of the garage is a Porsche. Yes, it is. And in the next slide, you can see, go to the next slide, please, John. You can see some of the wire perhaps up along the eaves. What he did is kind of an interesting approach. He took the IMD and he mounts it at ground level. And he attaches it directly to a ground rod. So he's got a ground rod. I have no idea how long it is. And then he goes from there and routes the wire all around his house. And it's been very effective for him. It's worked great. He does not have metal soffits. The metal gutters have not been a problem for him. This has been a pretty successful way for people in HOAs to have an outside antenna. And it's relatively inexpensive. Involves a little bit of labor, but it performs a lot better than some kind of antenna that the guys would have in their attics. Next page, please. This is an interesting story. This basically takes the tripod that we have and the mast that we have and combines them. This is the installation at Lance's in Austin, Texas. Lance contacted us. He says, oh man, I got a real problem. I'm not able to put anything up here at the place, and we need solutions. So we figured, well, what's going to be the best thing for him? Well, you notice he's got a J-pole on top of that mast. I hope you can see it. At that time, he was a tech. He's now a general. And so we came up with this combination for him. And we've we call it ported mast, because with our mast situation, if you pull that bottom collar up, the entire mast will collapse into a collar of about 6 inches across. So what Lance was doing is when he was worried about somebody seeing it, he'd simply collapse it and put it on the porch. Well, recently I talked with him. He is now a general, I'm happy to say, and he doesn't care about what other people say because he has wire across the yard, and asked us to help him design it. I said, well, how are you getting away with it? He said, well, I didn't live in an HOA. It was my wife that was complaining. So, well, we didn't know that. So as far as security of antennas, there's more to it sometimes than just the HOA. One of the go-to installations that was done recently, the wife is all excited about designing things to mount on top of the go-to antenna and put in the back of her HOA yard. So that's about it. There's all kinds of other things that we do. HOAs have been a real challenge for a long time. I think we've got it with the go-to antenna. All these other antennas have been very successful. It's not going to be a dipole 60 feet in the air. As long as people understand that and understand that what we're trying to do is get you on the air and not get you in trouble. And I could write a book as far as the things that issues that people have had, whether keying their rig blows all the circuit breakers in the condo and on, all kinds of interesting stories. But suffice it to say, we have a product. Our stuff is made here in the States, and we're anxious to help people get on the air and do it practically, not with some kind of a make-believe thing that's only going to work for a limited amount of time or dependent totally on sunspots or whatever. Are there any questions?
Yeah, this is Bob.
Yes, sir.
Is your balance, are they 9-to-1? Your matching
No,
transformers?
they're not. What's the next question?
What's the maximum power rating, you know, on them?
I'm sorry, I didn't hear you.
The maximum power, how much, maximum
Okay, thank you. Normally what we want to do is stick with 100 watts. Can we build them to handle more power than that? Yes. 100 watts is what we go for as far as sideband and CW, and 25 watts digital.
Hey, Bob.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, this is Bob.
Hey, Bob.
I have a similar version of the IMD 109.
Yes, sir.
From the J company. And I think it's the 132 style because my house end to end is east to west. I've got it up there, and then the rest of it goes from the west end on a 45-degree angle, if you will. Just, not up, but a 45 to a tree in the backyard. And it works good. But I think this matching transformer is probably a much better build than that piece of junk I got up there, but it works.
I'm not going to comment on that.
Pardon
me? I can't comment on it, but you're a wise person. Let me put it that way.
Yeah. I mean, just the looks of it. It looks more, as opposed to some little square box. It looks more professional, put it that way. I may consider replacing it.
The thing that we do with this stuff, we spend an inordinate amount of time. Could we build them cheaper? Probably. Do we want to build them cheaper? No. Every single thing we offer is full of epoxy resin, black epoxy resin. And it's that way on purpose. Now, to say that there's not someone somewhere else with a dental pick taking it apart, that I don't know. But the deal is our stuff works. You don't ever want to drop it in the water because it's gone, that's gone. You'll never see it again.
It's a nice thing. I like it.
Thank you, sir. The whole idea, in fact, I forgot to mention, one of the go-to antennas is in the snow up in Iowa, and the guy has operated it continuously throughout the entire snowstorms that they've had up there. No problem. Snow, under snow, whatever. Any other question?
So this is James in Zurich IA.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
This picture that I'm seeing right now, I guess a lot of the pictures I'm seeing is this matching bottle, I guess you would call it, no tuner, even on the 32-foot vertical wire?
Okay, now it depends. These are they're variations on the theme, okay?
Yeah.
On the vertical one, There's one without a tuner, there's one with a tuner, and there's one that's nothing more than like a piece of plastic that adapts an SO239 to vertical wire. So there's several different ways to go. If you go on our website, we call them stealth flagpole, SMP 101, 102, 103. That way you get all the information about it. Now, the tricky part in any kind of antenna like this is 80 meters and 160 meters. Everything else pretty much straightforward. The go-to solves the deal on the 80. I have not tried it on 160. Now, it sweeps there, but I would be surprised. Maybe you could talk around the block on 160. But on 80 and 40, absolutely, it's no problem. I can put it out right outside the hangar here at the shop and talk with Albuquerque, 50 watt sideband or 20 meters, no problem. The big thing on this thing is NVIS as well as the low angle radiation with that vertical. It's a different kind of antenna. Not only is it intended to be different, but in fact it is, and it performs very well. And there's no, I don't know if any of you guys have used any of those Agilent Field Foxes. There's no trick in those things. You hook it up to that end connector and you'll find out exactly what you have. And I'm very proud of that. If there are no other questions, I need to go. I've got another call I've got to make, but thank you very much for including us. We're looking forward to coming back to Hamcation. Just enjoy being around you guys. Incidentally, we also take that I forgot to mention that green mast. We have a ladder mount that goes on the back of RVs that is intended primarily for that antenna. And what works really, some of you guys may know Paul Aiken, very good friend of ours. Paul uses it on his coach when they're set up down there in Hamcation. And we've done a lot with RV. We're members of the amateur radio chapter of the Family Motor Coach Association. A lot of other stuff we could talk about, but I wanted to talk with you. I appreciate the opportunity to talk with you guys about stealth antennas that we have. Nice thing about it, they work. And I really, in my heart of hearts, think that this go-to thing is going to change the deal on HOA, because so many people had trouble, and I'm really anxious to see how it goes. Thank you very much for your time.
Thanks, Bob. Before you go,
yes, sir.
Can you provide your email address?
My email address is bob@tn07.com.
Thank you, sir.
And the next slide is fini. See you guys.
Thanks, Bob. Appreciate it very much.
Sir. Thank you. Bye-bye.
Yeah.
Hope that that helped for a lot of you guys who are in HOAs or deed restricted communities. I know we get a lot of emails constantly from people wanting to know how can they put up an antenna or how can they beat the system, if you will. So I'm hoping that helps. At least gives you some ideas. Or if you still have further questions, don't hesitate to ask Bob. Send him an email, call them, whatever you need to do, because he's been very forthcoming about the information that he provides.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Laura is also. Am I still on? Can you still hear me, John?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah. Laura. Her email address is laura@tn07.com, and her call is Whiskey Tango 1 Kilo.
Awesome. Appreciate it very much.
Yes, sir. And it's good. Thank you again for inviting us, John. It was good seeing you down in good old Dalton, Georgia. Hopefully we'll see everybody in Huntsville. You guys be safe, okay?
All right.
Yes, sir. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Speaking of Huntsville.
Yes.
Oh, Mark connect.
I'm surprised Mark isn't online with us.
He is. He was.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, Mark.
I'm here.
Oh, my goodness. Heart be still.
Good to see you, Bob.
Hey, Mark. Good to see you, man.
All right. Let's go. Actually, Mark, since you're here, let's talk a little bit about Huntsville. You want to talk to us about what's going on for Huntsville?
Well, yeah, thanks, John, and good evening, everybody. I know many of you, and Ron up there in Dayton, good to see you too. But if you've been following any of the podcasts, we, as the Huntsville Hamfest Committee, we normally meet around November, uh, following our August event, to start planning the following year. But with COVID-19 and everything this year, we waited until January to have our first Zoom meeting, and basically we sat around asking each other more questions than we could answer. And so what we did was we had a face-to-face meeting with the Von Braun Center, and in parallel with that, we queried the vendors on their intentions. Basically, if we build it, would they come? And the responses back from the vendors was very positive. Same with the flea market folks. And about the same time, the Von Braun Center told us, we have to keep some spacing, reduce capacity. And, we didn't have to have the one-way aisles like last year. We can have bidirectional aisles. But even so, with the square footage we had in the Alabama mandates, we were looking at a capacity limit that it just couldn't work financially for anyone. But then they threw the kicker in to give us an additional 60,000 square feet of space in the Von Braun Center South Hall. And that changed the equation dramatically. Suddenly, we could space everything out. We can still get the 50 flea market vendors, 54 flea market vendors. I'm sorry, 54 commercial vendors, and about 380 or so flea market tables, along with the stage and the youth lounge, the hospitality, and all that other stuff. And we can make it work. And so we just got actually Friday night we got approval from the Von Braun Center on our layout concept, and they've blessed it. So we're about a week away from turning on the registration portal to take reservations for the commercial and flea market vendors, and we're promoting online ticket sales. John and Michael, you guys, we talked in Orlando, in Dalton, about the idea of mailing tickets. And what we thought about that was, at the end of the day, we're still going to have those folks come up and exchange or process and give them a button. There's no way we can see. We here in Huntsville, we always do a button, and folks have come to expect it rather than just a paper ticket. So we're not ahead of the game by trying to mail tickets, but we are promoting will call ticket sales, and we think we can make it work. But thanks for letting me give the long and short of it tonight. We're excited, and we hope to see a lot of you up here to come August. The website for Huntsville is hamfest.org. Very easy to remember. Over to you, John.
All right, Mark, appreciate it very much. And you said you're about a week away before opening the ticket portal?
Probably so. We want to make sure, we want to give another very detailed look at our vendor and visitor policies, the written policies that the vendors will sign up. I'm sure Bob and you have looked at that stuff every year, but this year with COVID, we want to make sure that we have we want to make sure we're covered as far as the liability waivers and things like that. We want to do it right, but we want to be quick, but we also want to do it right.
Understood. And you ever figure out how you came up with the URL of hamfest.org?
I think one of our prior Hamfest chairman knew somebody, or maybe where the body was buried.
That's a good one to have. All right, appreciate your time. Ron, you're still on here, aren't you? Yeah, change my view so I can see everybody. Ron, do you want to give an update on Hamvention? Put you on the spot here for a minute.
Well, Hamvention this year is canceled, but we do have a few things going on. There's going to be a antenna, don't know what to call it here. There'll be a day of antenna forums, so to speak. That's going to be put on by DX Engineering and ICOM. And they are doing all the work for us, so that's wonderful. So that'll be on Friday of Hamvention weekend. Then on Saturday, there is a QSO party going on, and it's more of a social event. There's also going to be DXing going on, but a lot of it will be just social, talk to people that you can't see right now until next year. And then from there, we're going to be pushing Hamvention 2022, and we're looking at making it a big year.
Awesome. All right, we'll be glad when we get back up to your neck of the woods too. Hopefully next year. So it's always a fun trip.
We're ready to see everyone. That's for sure. Watch the hamvention.org website. All the information will be on there probably in the next week or so.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good. All right, we'll go into some other things here we're going to discuss tonight, and then Mike will come up here in just a second and give us an update on everything related to Hamcation. First, I just want to announce to everybody that the board of directors is working toward having a in-person field day event for 2021 again this year. We're in the planning stages of it. It'll be at the fairgrounds. We are going to probably limit it to only 2 stations this year, a phone station and a CW station. And then once we get more of those details worked out, we'll definitely get the word out to everybody. But we are planning on doing a in-person field day this year, with obviously the social distancing in mind and whatever other restrictions we might have at that time. Always hate talking about some of that stuff right now because things change rapidly right now. So you never know what may not be in effect come the end of June. I do want to mention that something that is going on right now, that Lamar's is hosting the Florida Statehood 1845 special event station this week. It's actually a work from home event. There are still slots available for operators to sign up. If you go to lamars.org /sign up, from now till I think it's a Saturday, if I'm not mistaken, the 6th, there are still positions or time slots available to either run CW, phone, or digital. And there are 2-hour time slots, and to run your station from home for the Florida Statehood 1845 special event. And that's basically just marking that the Florida becoming a state for the United States back in 1845, and doing a little bit of a celebration. The exchange this year on this one is pretty much your name, state or province, and then the temperature. And it's been kind of unique talking to people, or a lot of reports coming in from up north how cold it is, and we're giving our temperature down here in Florida, making a lot of people jealous, which is the idea of trying to bring up a little bit of interest of people traveling to Florida when things start opening up and people feel more comfortable about traveling again. So for more information, you can go to 1845 Florida.org. Is it, Mike? Am I saying that right? Put him on the spot. He might not have been ready for it. We'll put a link up into the chat window here for anybody that's interested. And you can get more information on. Also, just remember to go to lamars.org /sign up, and you can sign up for any of the available time slots that are still available. I sent out an email earlier this week. Actually, I'm sorry, it was last week, right before Mike and I headed to Dalton, Georgia for the Hamfest up there. Another silent key, Lawrence or Larry Gilbreth. A lot of you guys probably remember Larry from many years ago, WD4BMN. He became a silent key last Wednesday night on the 24th of February. Larry served as the Hamcation vice chairman under Jack Levitt, and then became the Hamcation chairman for a couple of years, for the following couple of years after that. I know Larry's memorial is coming up this Friday at 3 on March the 5th at 3 p.m. at the Bahia Shrine Center at 3101 East Cimarron Boulevard up in Apopka. And Larry was also one of the charter members for Lamar's. He was one of the original, I think, 80 people that were the original 80 members of Lamar's. His wife even served as vice president and president of Lamar's many years ago. So please keep Nancy in your thoughts and prayers. I'm sure it's a little rough for her right now, and we hope that be able to see her again in the future. I know that she can't, her and Larry did come to Bob's CFRA meetings for a while, and then we hadn't seen them for a while. So hopefully maybe she'll be able to come back to them here in the near future. Let me go to Michael. So Michael can talk about Hamcation. I'm assuming he's going to probably talk about 2021 that just occurred. And then after that, maybe give us an update on 2022. You there, Mike?
All right, let me unmute here. First, let me thank all the moderators that helped out for the webinars. We had a very good turnout for the webinars, a lot of positive comments coming back from all the webinars. I do know some of the webinars hit close to 600 people in them, which is awesome. I know I just looked on YouTube, and a shocking one, Ellicraft has over 1,400 views on it already, which is the biggest one, which kind of shocked me. They had the most on YouTube. But just a reminder, everything is up on YouTube. So if you want to go watch it, you can. Just to let everybody know, we had almost a little over 6,000 people sign up for the webinars. For all of them, there was, I believe, 42 of them scheduled. I might be wrong on that number, but somewhere in that range. It was more than 40, I do know that. So everything worked out good there. The QSO party was a really good hit. I do know on that one, we had a lot of people participate in it. I do know Mark from Huntsville, I believe he got all 9 Hamcation stations on his doing it. We had people all around the world participate in it. A lot of DX stations also, a lot of Canada. So that was a hit. We did do testing in person on Sunday, and I believe we had over 40 people there for it, which was a really good hit also. We were able to social distance everybody in the North building, which was good. I believe that's it for 2021. Am I missing anything, John?
I think you still have to determine who the top 3 stations were in the QSO party for the plaques to go out.
Correct. Once we finalize that, we will make announcement of the 3 that will get plaques for first, second, and third place for the QSO party. So there's a few of them that put in their scores that weren't right, so we got to eliminate them out. We have a couple of people that said they had 10 contacts with like 1,000 points, which is impossible. So once we do that, we will eliminate those, then get that up of which ones also.
Also, you might want to sit there and mention about the prizes, grand prizes especially. Everything's been sent.
Yeah, just to let everybody know that all the prizes has been shipped, but like 3, I think, or 2, which we have not heard back from the winners yet to verify their addresses. But they all were shipped, and actually, I believe all of them has been received now by everybody, which is good. So we did very good with that. We did very good with just to let everybody know, selling the tickets for the prizes. All that will go back to the clubs. We are still calculating everything, but I know we did a lot better than we thought we were going to do with that. So we'll have an update soon on that one. One thing I do know or have also, if everybody noticed, I did change everybody's names with numbers in front of them again. We do have a prize to give out for this meeting. One of the winners of one of the prizes said he would like to donate the prize back to OARC to be given out at this meeting. The prize is actually an ARL $50 gift certificate. So we will I have a random number generator. We'll do that in a little bit before the end of the meeting. So please, if you disconnect, you will not win. So please make sure you stay connected until we do it. Now on to 2022. 2022 is a go for in person. One way or another, it's going to happen. So just to let everybody know, our website, hamcation.com, is 100% live. You can buy your tickets. You can register as a volunteer on there now. Everything is up and operational as of today. So this will give us little under a year with the website fully up and running. So hopefully that'll give more time for people to buy stuff. You can go in, reserve your or buy your swap tables, your RV nights, tickets, commercial. So everything is live on the website. And just like I said, if you want to volunteer and know you're going to be there already, you can go in and volunteer already for it also. I believe that's it, John.
All right, appreciate it very much. And then as more developments come up for Hamcation, Michael will be giving those updates. Just remember, it is our 75th anniversary, and it will be the ARRL National Convention. And there is a full day of training tracks that's planned by the ARRL on Thursday, offsite at a hotel. And that information will come out from ARRL here, I'm sure, in the next few months, once they get everything finalized again for 2022. A lot of it was already done for 21, but since we had to postpone, they had to probably just make sure that the presenters and stuff are still going to be the same presenters and things. So be interested to see that information come out here soon. Let me go around to the clubs, and just a reminder that nominations are still open. So if you are interested in running for a board position, that you still have time to nominate yourself by sending your an email to nominations@oarc.org. And then Bob Pollock will be able to get you added to the slate, and we'll be closing those here shortly. So if you're interested, please make sure that you send in your email. Is there anybody from the QCWA chapter 45 on tonight? I got a different view from everybody, so I can't see who's all on here.
I don't know whether Rich is here or he's on the road, but I know he was going to go out of town. But the QCWA does have a net every Tuesday night at 7:30. 147, 195 repeater, up 600, 103.5 tone, and all are welcome, QCWA members or not. So that's it. And incidentally, from our test session, I see down there number 16, Keith, KO4HSW, was one of our person who took his test at Hamcation this year and upgraded to general.
Awesome. Cool. All right. And meetings are still being done by Zoom, I presume.
That is correct. It'll be the second Thursday of the month.
Okay. Sounds good. All right. Lamar's. Anybody from Lamar's?
Yeah, I can grab it, John.
There you go, Jim. Good.
Tomorrow night is our regular meeting, and again, it'll be on Zoom. I don't know how soon it's going to be before we get back to the Civic Center, but from my understanding, what some of the guys in contact had said, it's still closed with all that's going on. And of course, we're working with several of the other groups this week with the Whiskey 4 Foxtrot or Whiskey 4 Florida special event station. I'll be on tomorrow, so it's been a lot of fun. And not much else now. As far as other things like field day and all that, I don't think we've really got around to what we're going to do exactly, but that should be coming down the pipeline. I should be glad to get back where we can be face to face.
I will agree with you 100% on that. I think a lot of people are agreeing on that one. All right, appreciate it. See, Jerry, you guys doing anything yet with CERT? I'm sure that you're probably still under lockdown at the EOC.
Yeah, John, we're still locked down at the EOC. We're still having our net every Wednesday night, and that's weekly. And that's about all we're doing, and just advising the members to stay cool and stay isolated. That's about it, John.
All right, appreciate it. And Bill and Christy, anything from Clark County CERT? He's unmuted. There you go.
Okay, there we go. Yeah, we're actually doing face-to-face starting March 16th, or no, 15th, I'm sorry. At 6:30 p.m. Everyone is welcome.
In a rec hall.
We're doing it in the rec hall. We are definitely able to social distance in there. And we have a lot of new renters in here, so we're going to start with basic trainings and give the manuals, and we're going to start from scratch and try to add some new people to the group. So we're excited about getting started.
Awesome. Okay. Bobbin, CFRA.
Okay, this is the Central Florida Repeater Association meets the last Wednesday of each month. I'm glad someone told me it was February. I thought it was March. I was like a week off. So this coming meeting will be the 31st of March at Perkins in Winter Park at the corner of Forsyth and University. Just a gathering. We got about 20 members tops, I think. Dues are $12 per year. If your spouse is him as well, it's $18 for the both. Repeater is 443075, downtown Orlando. Dual, it's analog and fusion, 1035. And I want to say hello to Keith down there, KO4HSW. I know you're probably listening because he's one of the regulars on the Traders Net on Tuesday night. So hi, Keith. John, that's all I got.
All right, appreciate it very much. Radio scouting. I'm not sure if Ken's online. I haven't seen him log in. Larry, did you have anything for radio scouting? Must not. Okay, let's go.
Hey, John.
Here we go, Larry.
Yeah, I try to unmute my speaker on my mic. One thing I see we got coming up is like in May up at the camp with some scouts doing Morse code because they're doing like a pioneer type thing. But other than that, not much is going on. Then I got onto Echo Link and with some Philippine leaders, which was kind of interesting.
Okay. Do you know if you guys are still planning on JODO this year?
Oh yeah, that's going to be a go.
Okay.
Because yeah, it might not be the whole. Usually October we do the whole month, but last year we only did like 2 weekends, so JODO should be a go.
Okay.
All right.
All right, Rod, did you have anything from the Shriners Ham Radio Group?
Don't have any new things at all. We haven't had a meeting yet live, so we don't have any plans, but we'll let you know as soon as we got something cooking up.
Okay.
Thank you.
And Weak Signal Society, Bob?
Yeah, the roof work is done at the Hampton House, downtown Orlando. So the repeaters are all back on the air. And also the Florida Weak Signal beacons are on the air on 6 meters, 2 meters, 222, 432, and 1.2. The others are still a work in progress. We need to do some work up there still on those. But if you need to test your receivers or your VHF, UHF stuff, go on the OARC website, look on the beacons, and you can get a frequency to test your radio with.
All right. And how about AMSAT I don't think Lou was on tonight. Don't see anybody from AMSAT. Deers. Frank, do you have any information from Deers?
No, I don't. Just when I get an email that they run their meetings online still.
Yep.
That's about
I think everybody's pretty much in that same boat for the most part. Lake Amateur Radio. And similarities.
Seminole areas is the same. Just the third Thursday is the meetings. I don't think they're having them because the center's still closed, sheriff's office, and every Monday night on 147090 is the net on Mondays. The first Monday is Simplex, and it's at 8 o'clock. Right, Bob?
That is correct. Last night was Simplex. The rest of them will be on in 147090, up 600 and 103.5 tone.
Okay. All right. Osceola areas. I'm not sure anybody from Osceola County was on tonight. All right, real quick on Orange County areas. Our next meeting's coming up Monday night. We got some different things to go through. I don't think we'll have an actual live presenter this month, but we'll have some stuff that we need to go over for sure. And hopefully some interesting new news might be coming out on Monday. So we'll tune in on Monday night. If you are not a member of Orange County areas, but like to join us, it's still by Skype, or excuse me, still by Zoom. Geez, where's Skype come from? And send me an email and I'll make sure you get the link. But I'll be sending out the link to the group, whoever, all the members of the group this weekend. So looking forward to that. Real quick, we'll go around to the board members for any other announcements, and then we'll go into closing our nominations for our elections next month and go over about how we're going to do the elections. Michael, did you have anything further?
No, I don't have nothing.
Okay, we'll do the prize drawing toward the end. Anna?
No, I'm good for tonight.
All right. Bobbin?
Oh, good for the night. Good meeting, guys and gals.
All right. Bob C?
Nothing more. Good meeting.
All right. Tony?
Nothing else, Sean. Thanks.
All right. James?
Same old, same old. Nothing to add.
Frank G?
Basically, we have a lot of silent key stickers and forms. If anybody needs assistance or wants to plan on future assistance for your disposing of equipment for the remaining family members, let us know and get you those stickers and the forms, and you could start early and get everything inventoried up, and then we can help when that time comes. Thanks.
Okay. Frank Gerkitz?
Nope, nothing here, John.
All right. And Dean?
I do have one quick thing tonight. Bob reminded me about the roof work at our rooftop there near the intersection of Highway 50 and Bumby. Just wanted to mention that we've got the 2.4 gig mesh node up there, and we were concerned about that one, the way it was installed in reference to the roof work, but it survived. It's still working. And we're hoping in the next month or two to get up there and make some improvements on that one, make a few changes to it. But just want to mention that one did survive and it's still working.
And definitely looking for more people to get involved in the creating a network and get in touch with you if they are. All right. So now we come down to the nominations. So we started this out electronically again this year because of COVID. Typically at our March meeting, we open our nominations to the floor at the beginning at the March meeting in person, and then end it right prior to the end of the meeting, and then announce who is running for what office. So at this point, nominations are now closed, and the slate can be presented by Bob. Bob Pollock, do you want to let everybody know who is running for what positions?
Okay, basically, the same officers from last year are still running. We got one new person running for a director's thing. Is Andy Anderson. Is he on board today?
I haven't seen him connected.
Okay, he wanted to run this time. So basically, the slate is the same as you just went through of all the officers.
What, was there no other ones for director?
No, just Andy Anderson was the only new one.
Okay.
I haven't gotten any email.
That's not true, Bob. I sent you one, Ed Thralls. I sent you one for director.
It
And
didn't get to me.
you sent me an email back acknowledging it.
I did?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Yeah, and mine too,
as long as-
as incumbent.
Huh?
I sent you an email and you acknowledged mine as incumbent to remain.
Yeah, I know. I
as
sent you back one as an incumbent, right?
You said you only got one
And Ed Thralls-
nomination for director.
Pardon? Say again?
You just said that you only got one nomination for a director. Was that new nomination?
No. I only got one new one.
Oh, okay.
All the rest of you are directors presently. Okay?
So Ed sent you one then?
Yes, I've got them on the list.
Okay.
You got a copy of the list. You got a copy
I'm
of the
not
list.
Bob, I'm not a current director. I'm running for a new director spot if there's one available.
Okay, I thought you were a present one. But
No, I'm
got
not a
you
current
there.
director. I'm sorry. I don't know how I might have confused you, but I could have.
Okay. All righty.
Yeah,
I got you on there. You've had 7 years with the club, and I show you as an incumbent. It's you're NE4H, right?
Correct.
Yeah, you're on the list.
Okay, thanks, Bob.
All right, sounds good. So sounds like the officers are going to remain the same, and where the runoff will be in the director's positions.
Director's positions.
Okay, sounds good. And all the incumbents are still running again, and then we have Andy Anderson and Ed's running also for director.
Right.
Okay, sounds good. Now, what I would like to do, real quick, since we're on here tonight, although Andy's not on here, but we'll get a statement from him. Ed, do you want to real quick just talk about yourself and give a little idea what you want to do as a director and stuff?
Yeah, be glad to. I've been with the club for 7 years this time. Actually, I joined the club the very first time in 1979, long distance. I'd seen a newsletter when I was running through Orlando trying to buy a house before I went to a postgraduate school in Monterey, California. I retired at the Navy. I started as an enlisted man. I retired as a commissioned officer. I have degrees in electrical engineering from Vanderbilt University and a master's degree in telecommunications systems management and another bachelor's degree in horticulture. So I could probably put seeds of a vertical in the backyard and watch it grow. I've been quite active over the past probably 8 or 9 years And for the past 3 years, I've been able to make HF contacts on the radio at least once a night for the past 3 years without a miss. So at least I've got my HF equipment up and running. I'm trying to catch up with you guys on 2 meters. I am running a handheld out of my pickup truck. So that's a little handicap for me. I'll get that straightened out here pretty soon. I do live in an HOA, and maybe I'll have some new ideas here shortly. As far as being a director, I'm not sure exactly how you assign different tasks for directors to work, but I'm a worker. I'm also a leader. I can take a direction as well as give it. And so I'm available to do anything that needs to be done in the club to make us a better club, to get more members into the club. And I'd like to see a little bit more youth in the club. But up to that point, I've been also your newsletter editor for a number of years now. I was the chair for RV at Hamcation, and now I'm co-chair at Hamcation for several years now. And I'm still working for a living. I haven't retired yet from my current job, but it looks like it's on the calendar for some time this year. So I'll have more time to dedicate to the club if I'm elected to one of the director positions. Thank you.
All right, appreciate it. We're going to go real quick around to the incumbents. And then what I'd like to do is everybody and the directors just write a quick statement between now and the time the next newsletter goes out about yourself, and so that way everybody that maybe that doesn't have the time to come onto a meeting will still be able to learn a little bit about each of you. So when they get the ballots, they can make a good judgment call on who they want to put in for the directors. Let me go around to each of the directors that are incumbents. Dean, you want to real quick just give a quick statement?
Sure, happy to. So again, my name is Dean Grow, and the amateur call is KD4TWJ. Lived here in the Orlando area for roughly 35 years, and all of that time I have been employed in the information technology business, the various different roles in terms of support and project management, mostly at the enterprise level. And so of those 35 years I've been here, for the last 28 years, I have been licensed as a ham. And so both work and amateur radio have gotten me involved in a number of different technology projects. And so I have a lot of experience, working with and in some cases managing projects from an IT and even an amateur radio standpoint. So over the years here locally, I've been involved in a few different repeater projects, some of the digital data digipeater projects, for packet, APRS, things of that nature. Some of the analog voice over IP systems like Echolink and All-Star. And more recently, really trying to push some of the mesh networking stuff here, as many of you know. You're probably tired of hearing me talking about the mesh networking, but I think it's pretty important. So I've only been a member of OERC here, I guess, for 4 or 5 years. I'd have to actually go back and look at my membership date. But as mentioned, I've been involved here locally in amateur radio for, pretty much 28 years, and been involved with Hamcation now for a number of years. And I have been the IT chairman since that position was created. I want to say, is it 5 years ago now, John? So anyway, I'm the original IT chairman for Hamcation. And for many years prior to that, I volunteered for Hamcation. Also involved here locally with Orange County Aries for the last 16 years. And for the last 11 years as one of the staff members with Orange County Aries. So I think I bring a pretty well-rounded perspective in terms of technology as we as board members meet and talk about, it seems like a new thing every month, a new project, a new technology, etc. So I bring those perspectives from enterprise IT and amateur radio projects and all that to it. And so hopefully I can get your vote to continue to do that.
All right, appreciate it. And let's go to James.
Hello, everyone. James Dual N0XIA, Board of Director at this time, running again. Let's see, I guess as a Florida resident, I've been a Florida resident from 1960 to 1973 and from 2005 to 2021. Did not become a ham until 1976 in Los Angeles, California, then became a resident of New Mexico, Colorado, and back here. I think I joined the club around 2006 or 7, and I didn't become a board member, gosh, I don't know, can't remember the time. But anyway, eventually did that. Fortunately, I am piss poor in degrees, so I have no credentials to impress everybody with on that. But then I did take a tech training course in avionics in Los Angeles, but never touched an airplane. Nobody would hire me for some reason. So two-way radio. Two-way radio is what I've been playing with. So from an amateur radio standpoint, repeaters is kind of what I play with the digital modes. Digital modes being, the ones that don't really involve HF, but NXDN, DMR, D-Star, P25, that kind of stuff. So that's what I've been playing with, and I'm kind of the guy that's taking care of the club repeaters right now, but I'm always open for any help. I did a count. We have 14 repeaters between the two clubs. A little overwhelming, but I keep on trying. So if I don't get reelected, I'll still take care of the repeaters. So, and I like everybody that's running, so I'm cool, whatever happens. Thank you.
All right, James, appreciate it. Tony.
Good evening. My name is Tony Darnell, call signs KK4VRP. Been a member at OARC, I believe, since 2014. I got my first license in 2013 and upgraded every year after that till I got my extra, which was difficult for me, but I made it, and I just enjoy the hobby. It's fun to play with. I technically started studying back in the late 70s, but being a younger guy, I kind of lost interest in it, and finally got back into it. Met a guy named Sean Grage, and he was a ham, and sparked my interest. And that's what got me back into it. And joined Lamar's first, 2013. Then I joined OARC right after that, and got asked to get on the board for Hamcation, which was probably one of the funnest things I've got to do so far. Really enjoy that and all the guys, and it's just a really fun hobby. Been in Florida since '87. Moved here from Louisiana, and plan on staying here. I'm in the construction field, no technical background really, but just a love for two-way radios, and just enjoy the hobby, enjoy meeting people, and it's a lot of fun. And I'll continue no matter what happens. Always here to help whenever I can. That's about it. Thank you.
Thanks, Tony. Frank Gerkitz.
Frank Gerkitz again, call sign KC9GNQ. I was first licensed back in 2004. I currently hold a general class license. I enjoy all the bands and most of the digital voice modes. I'm a professional truck driver by trade, so that gives me a lot of time to play radio while I'm running up and down the road, which is a big advantage and a lot of fun. Like I said, I've been on the Hamcation board chairman for 3 years, I think it is now, onsite ticket chairman, and I'm also one half of the sound key committee for the club. So I'm old enough to remember back when we had meetings in person, and I enjoy helping new hams and some of the more experienced hams with the digital modes and things that are new and things that are just coming out. So that's my background.
I appreciate it, Frank. And Frank Tagalani.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
My name's Frank Tagliani. I'm on the board of directors at OARC. Yeah, that's right. And I've been in Central Florida for 30 years. Before that, I was up in the Northeast. I'm a principal radio engineer for AT&T, and I've got 34 years in cellular engineering. Most of you remember me from Lamar's. I was on their board for a while. I'm their repeater maintainer, like James is for Central Florida for OARC. I also do the security at Hamcation. So I'm involved in a lot of the local clubs with volunteers and a lot of ham radio. I'm also at VE, so I do a lot of the testing with Bob and get involved with ham radio in Central Florida with a lot of the different clubs. I don't remember how long I've been in OARC, but it's probably about 5 or 6 years. But if I don't get voted as a director, my assistance is still here. I'm not going anywhere. Frank Gergitz and I also do the Silent Key Committee. We help people handle their radio equipment when an operator becomes silent key. And that's brought some opportunities to the club as well, as far as benefits for people and organizations in need. And that's about it. So if you vote for me, great. If you don't, I'm still here. Today I had Larry call me about his hotspots. We got him online. So my customer support line will still be open. Thank you.
Quiet.
Are we supposed to be hearing something?
Yeah, he's muted.
Yeah, I see John's lips moving, but we're not hearing anything.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Did you hear me, or was I
Yeah,
muted?
we heard you. I forgot I had my microphone muted, but through the microphone itself. Bob C., certainly last but not least. Unmute yourself, Bob.
I'm trying to lip read, but I'm having a hard time.
Yeah, I tried clicking with my mouse and some reason it doesn't want me to unclick. Anyhow, holding down the space bar. Bob Cumming, W2BZY. Been in the club since 1993. Been licensed since 1957. Currently an extra class. Work all bands from 160 meters all the way up to 10 gigahertz. Just about every mode. Primarily CW and sideband. Let's see what else. Originally, I was one of the directors that implemented and got D-Star running on K1XC, and then later W4PLB. So been involved in digital, been involved with repeaters with the club, active in the Florida Weak Signal Group doing VHF, UHF, and microwave stuff. Came to Florida as a transfer down here from AT&T up in New York. Was a microwave radio up there, and also before that in high frequency radio when they used to use high frequency for overseas communications and ship to shore. So I had a commercial telegraph license. Let's see what else. Been past president of OARC, past president of QCWA Chapter 45, and been a director since I want to say 95 or 96, and then president for a few years, and then back as a director. That's it.
All right, Bob, appreciate it very much. So what I'd like for you guys to do is pretty much if you can take an evening and just jot down some words like you just did for the newsletter, so that our editor can put all the information in the newsletter to go out to all the members, and even if ones are not able to connect with us tonight or not able to for whatever reason, still know who you guys are, and when they get the ballot in the mail, they'll be able to make a better judgment who they would like to have for the directors. So let me talk real quick about the electronic ballot. So electronic ballots will be emailed to any of the life, regular, and family members who have been members of OERC for at least 90 days prior to the annual April meeting. So April meeting is going to be April the 7th. So they need to be a member on or before January the 7th of 2021. And that's per OERC bylaws. The ballots will be emailed the week of March 29th. And voting will commence on April the 1st at 7 p.m. and will end on April the 7th at 7 p.m. It's just like what we did last year, although it's probably a month or two late because of the pandemic and trying to figure out how we're going to do voting electronically, something different this last year. So when you receive that email, it's going to come to you directly. It's not going to come through the Google groups to everybody, because each email has a unique URL address that you're going to click to cast your vote. One is it won't be active until the date and time that I had mentioned, and it expires after the date and time that I mentioned, April the 7th at 7 p.m. Eastern time. And you can only vote once. So once you click and cast your vote, you won't be able to go back in and vote again. It's kind of a unique, I think it has a little token involved in the URL. So once that token is used, it cannot be used again. So it's important at this point that if you not sure what email address the club has on file for you, please make sure that you send an email to Rick. You can send it to membership at oerc.org. That goes directly to Rick, and to confirm what he has in the database, because what he's going to do here shortly, prior to the ballots going out, is pull up a CSV file of all the eligible members who can cast a vote, provide that to us of their email address, and the email address will be then entered into a website called adoodle.org. So it's also kind of important that you, if you run any tight security on your email, maybe you have a whitelist or blacklist or real tight spam filtering and stuff like that there, that you put in adoodle.org as a email address that's allowed to come through. And that's Alpha Delta Oscar Delta Lima Echo.org. So if you'll make sure that's whitelisted in your spam filters, so it comes through, because once it goes out, once we put this information into the website and it goes out, we cannot send an email out to everybody again. It can only go out once. So it's important that you are able to receive that email. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to cast a vote. So that's why I'm trying to let everybody know now, and I'm going to send out emails about this again here next week to let people know, to make sure that they loosen up their email spam filters, if you will, and allow that email to come through. And then at the end of the time that you're allowed to cast your vote, April the 7th by 7 p.m., then the results will be revealed on who will become the directors. When you do vote, you have to vote for at least 6 of the 8 directors. OERC's bylaw says we have 6 directors, and the 6 candidates that have the most votes will be the directors that we place into office. So, and we did this last year. It worked pretty well. So I'm looking forward to it happening again this year. And at least this year we're running a little bit more on time according to our bylaws. COVID came up on us a little unexpectedly, and we had to figure out how to do this. So this is what we found was the best way to work. So again, now is your time to make sure that Rick has your correct email on file, just to be sure, in case you made any changes recently. Some people do make changes. We don't find out about it until it's too late, and we want to make sure we have that information on file and it's correct. Before we go to our drawing, is there any questions about that? Don't forget to unmute your microphone.
Voting opens March 29, correct?
No, voting will actually start on April the 1st at 7 p.m. And that's not an April Fool's joke. It starts April the 1st at 7 p.m. is when you'll receive the ballot, or the link, I should say, ahead of time.
People quit doing that.
Don't do what? Not sure what that was. So you'll receive your ballot prior to April the 1st, but you can actually cast your vote starting April the 1st at 7 p.m. Eastern, all the way through April the 7th at 7 p.m. So if you don't check your email on time, or right away on April the 1st, you still have time to vote. You'll be able to have time to be able to get to cast that vote. It's a little different than doing it in person like we have the years past. You can only vote in person at the actual meeting in April. So this gives everybody an opportunity to vote from home. And even if you don't normally attend an OERC meeting, maybe some members have to work tonight on a regular scheduled meeting night, so they're not able to attend. So they'll be able to still cast that vote. Any other questions? All right. Just a reminder that our next meeting is Wednesday, April the 7th, 2021. At 7 o'clock is when the meetings are going to start, since we're doing them virtually. Once I get a confirmation from our next speaker that they will be able to make that meeting, I'll announce who it is. It'll be got out an email, plus it'll be posted up on our website. Just a reminder, this is our annual meeting. The club requires one annual meeting to be done per year, which is our election night. Make sure that if you want to hear the results right away, make sure you attend that evening. So anyways, with that, Michael, did you want to do the drawing?
Yeah, I can do it. I know some people left because I'm down to 31 and I was all the way up to 35. So let's do this. Let me share my screen so nobody thinks I'm not doing this legitimately. This is not the winner. This is me just testing. So whoever who has 30, you did not win.
Can I send an absentee ballot?
Huh?
Can I send in an absentee ballot?
All right, here we go, everybody. Number 1.
It's like that's Bob C.
I don't know who it is. I'm in a wrong screen here. Bob C., you're the winner of a $50 gift certificate from ARRL.
Why don't you redraw that, Michael?
Okay, I can do that. All right, let's try it again. Number 30. Number 30 still on?
Jim Robar.
Jim Robar won it. Jim's like, what did I win?
I'm muted. All right. Well, thank you very much.
Yep.
All right. We'll get it to you.
Oh, no hurry. I know where you live.
All right. And the person wanted to say anonymous, so just thank them. Can't really thank them, but I know who it is. So thank you very much. I know they're actually listening right now. That's it.
All right, guys. Anybody have any other questions? If not, we'll go ahead and adjourn and hope to see everybody next month. I hope everybody learned something about the antenna thing tonight. We've had a lot of questions about antennas and what can be used for HOAs and deed restricted. So I hope that everybody's learned something or given you guys some ideas, and hopefully be able to get yourself an HF antenna up if you in one of those deed restricted areas. Have a good night, guys.
Could I
quick question?
I just get an award for the longest pork chops?
Longest pork chops?
I'm a picture. On my back. Can you see it?
On whose picture?
I think he's referring to the phrase of the sideburns, I think.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh yeah. 1970
You mean mutton chops?
mutton chops. Well, that
I had those too.
yeah, no, that's 1977 off a Voice of 1977 station.
I had mine about 1984.
Look at the difference between the hair there.
all righty.
I dare not show you a picture of me back in 1974. Yeah.
Oh boy, here come the baby pictures.
I make a motion to adjourn the meeting.
It's
John,
adjourned.
make a motion to adjourn.
It's adjourned.